Hello. For the second round of this application for CPL Fellowship, I have decided to talk about the issue of morality. With all due respect, I beg to differ. I believe that the question posed to me has to do more with practicality than with morality. However, before I proceed to give my answer, I would like to say that my answer is based on two assumptions. These two assumptions are very fundamental to this answer. The first assumption is that the disease in question is non-communicable and therefore it will not spread throughout the country. The second assumption is that the disease in question is not completely fatal. Now I can make these two assumptions because the question posed to me does not give me such details. So what the question gives me are two options. First option is to save 100 people from starvation in the next month. The other option is to save 1,000 people from a certain disease, and I don't know what this disease is yet, but I have to save these 1,000 people from a certain disease in the next 5 years. Now if I have to make a decision, I have to see and I will consider first what is going to be my immediate reaction or what is going to be the immediate effect of my decision. When I compare these two options, I see that I can save 100 people right now. I can save them by providing the food. I can save them by providing the doctors. I can save them by providing whatever other medical assistance that they require. So my decision has to be option A, where I save 100 people, as compared to the second option, where I have to save 1,000 people in a period of 5 years, and I have to save these people from a certain disease which I don't know what this disease is yet. So I will take some time to understand what this disease is. I will study the disease, I will study how to combat it, I will prepare a task force for it, and then, only then, will I proceed to save these 1,000 people. So if I have to take a decision now and I have to take a decision between these two, I will obviously go for option A. Mathematically also, this makes more sense because here in option A, I am saving 100 people in a month, whereas in option B, if I do the maths correctly, I will be saving roughly around 16 people every month in those 5 years. So I will here go with the first option and save 100 people immediately. I actually went a step further and I also thought, if my decision is taken to court, what will happen? If a court of law has to consider and has to ascertain whether my decision is valid or not, it will, amongst other factors, also look into this factor which is known as the Wednesbury principle of reasonableness. What this principle requires is that the court has to see whether the decision that I've taken, whether it is reasonable to any prudent man, or that is, whether a reasonable man would take such a decision. I honestly believe, when posed with these two options, any reasonable man would first save the 100 people, and then he will go and take whatever steps required to save those other 1,000 people, for which he has those 5 years to plan and then strategize. And I believe in any case, I cannot have on my hands the death of 100 people who I could have just saved by just providing them the required assistance. I don't think any decision maker will ever be able to take such a decision where you could have easily saved 100 people. I think that is going to be my answer, and that is going to be my decision. Thank you.